Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a Fiesta video. We actually got some split rims for it now. I was looking out for cheap wheels because, like I said in the first video, this is a budget build because it's for my missus. And to be fair, these splits come up for a decent price. They're SCHMIDT TH lines, they're 13s. I think they're 7.5s and 8s. I paid 450 quid for them. And they're very close to fitting. I might only have to change a couple of lips, which I'll show you later on in the video anyway, of me measuring them up before I change them. I've got a day off work today, so Courtney's at work, but she'll be around later. I'm going to start splitting them. I originally had a day off to work on my Escort, but the Fiesta needs a few bits doing, so while we've got the sunlight outside, I thought I'd better crack on with that, as obviously that's outside and the Escort's in the garage. I've only got a pair here in the garage because I've got the other pair on the Fiesta outside the house because I was trying to measure them up, which I'll show you after this. These are 8s and I think they're ET24, and these are 7.5s and I think they're ET18. One's 18, one's 24. The lips have gone a little bit crusty, but Julian reckons he can clean them up. Like I said before, he's a detailer, so I let him do all that sort of stuff, and hopefully we haven't got to buy new lips because they've like perished. Probably going to be painting the centres beige, the same colour as the car. I like when splits are the same centre as the car, as you can tell on my Escort if you watch my other videos. So before I go to the tyre shop and get the tyres taken off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how they fit on the car and sort of explain what needs to be done to make them fit how I want them to fit. Also, we're going to be going to the locksmith and getting another key made up for the Fiesta because it only comes with one key. So I've popped a couple of the locks out, popped the ignition barrel out, and we're going to get that done in this video as well. Right, so that's an 8 on the back. As you can see, we've got about an inch of poke, which is too much. The thing is, we've only got really small arches, so it's really difficult to get any sort of width underneath it. There's very hard to see, but there is still a lot of room between the shock and the wheel, so I can probably build the barrel inwards. What I'm going to do is try this 7.5 and see how this one fits. That's the 7.5 one, so it's a bit flat. Fitment's a lot better. The thing is, it's really hard to tell until we actually lower it, but I'll get the best angles I can. Still looks like it wants to come in like 10 mil. What I'm going to do is I'm not going to bother trying them on the front because I know they're not going to fit on the front if they're not going to fit on the back. So we'll get the other lock off and we'll get down to the tyre shop. So the wheels are all packed up, one's there, can't get them all in the boot. So we've got my locks, that's a door lock, ignition barrel and a boot lock. Hopefully you can make a key for all of them. Tyres off. So I've just been into the lock place, A1 Secure. He's got to order the blanks in and he said hopefully by the end of the week, which is going to be like Christmas Eve, but fingers crossed they come before then. Anyway, so we'll see how we get on with it. All of them off. These are the 2 8s, these are 2 7.5s. I did quickly look over them and it looks like they have been engraved with what size barrels they've got. But I'm going to split a couple of them up now while Courtney's not here, and I'm going to split the other 2 inches here to try and show her how you do it. I'm going to split 2 of them and I'm going to mess around with the barrels. I'm not going to bother showing you how to split them because if you watch my other videos you would have seen that. I'll quickly talk through it. Literally unbolt all the bolts. I normally do it with a gun, cut the seal and then just push the centre through. Right, so that's 2 of them split. That's an 8 and that's a 7.5 or the other way around, I can't remember. I've kept the bolts and the nuts in a bag. The bolts don't look like they're in too bad condition to be fair, but I have got some here. But I see something online that if you leave them in white vinegar overnight, they'll clean up. So because this is a budget build, I'm going to give it a go. I've got some distilled malt vinegar that I found in the kitchen. I'm going to give that a go overnight and see what it comes out like. If not, I'll just order some Nylox. Just about enough, and then I'm going to put a lid over the top of it and then leave them overnight, and we'll come back to them tomorrow. So before we get into it, if you look on the back here, I think there's around 5, 6, 7 mil that I'm going to be able to shave off, which I might have to do. I've done the same on my Revolutions under there, but I only took 4 mil because there wasn't enough meat, but there's definitely a bit more meat on the back of these. To be honest, I'd like to try and face mount these because I've never had a set of face mounts before and I think they look like a little bit different, a little bit nicer. But I'm going to see how we get on. I might even have to face mount them just to make them fit, because obviously it will push the lip in a little bit more. But I'm going to give it a go. We'll see how we get on, and I'll catch you when I'm outside with Fiesta. Back out with Fiesta. A little bit gloomy, but it's not too bad. These are the pair of dishes that I had left over from my Revolutions, which we might be able to make work. But I'm going to get it jacked up, get some on the front, get some on the back, see what we can work with. I'm looking at these. They've actually got markings, which saves me measuring them. These are 1.5 inches by 13, and the barrels, I'm pretty sure I see something on them that said they were 5.5, and I have measured them to be that. I think all the barrels must be the same width, and it's only the lips that are different. These are also 1.5 inches, which are off my Escort. Right, so we've got a fair bit of poke on that. I think I'm actually going to try and rebuild it and either rear mount it or face mount it and see if I can change it offset that way. Before I get to messing around sandwich mounting them and rear mounting them, face mounting them and rear mounting them, I'll show you what the front looks like. Bit of poke again, which I don't really want. But if you look, there's definitely no chance that I'm going to be shaving 10mm off the back of that. That is already as tight as it is, unless I drop down to a 5-inch barrel, which I don't mind doing if I can find some second-hand ones. But I'm going to try go with the rear mount and the sandwich and the face mount first and see how I get on. Right, so I'm back in the garage because it started to rain and didn't really want to get soaking wet. I've decided we're going to face mount them purely because I tried to rear mount them, and as you would have seen in the clip, you can't rear mount them because like the chamfer, it's really annoying. I actually had that problem on my Mark II Escort as well, so they ended up getting sandwiched. So we're going to face mount them. The reason I'm going to do this is because I really don't want to buy any more barrels and lips. I can make them fit with a sandwich mount, but it means going from 5.5-inch barrel to a 5-inch, and possibly a 1-inch lip from a 1.5-inch lip, and I still possibly have to shave 5mm off the back of them to make them sit right. I don't really want to do that. By face mounting them, we actually gain, I think it's 15mm, whatever the thickness of the centre is, I think it's 15mm of the lip coming in further. Yeah, the lip sits in further, 15mm further, so it's not as pokey. Because the offset of the wheels, they're actually a good offset wheel from Mk1 Fiesta. They're not ideal, but they're good enough. It's just I don't want to have to change the lip. If I change to a 1-inch lip, it'd be fine. But lips are, I think, when I ordered them for my Escort, they're like £64 each, and that means I need 4. And then I'm probably going to have to order a pair of front barrels for the front as well, which I don't really want to do. I might as well just work with what I've got. The wheels only owe us 450 quid with the tyres. Once I've powder coated and put some bolts in them, it's probably going to be like another 50 or 60 quid. So 500 quid for a set of splits that have just been refurbed, that's ideal. So I just want to show you the difference between face mount and sandwich, what it looks like. So these are sandwiched, the lip's on the outside. These are face mounted, the lip is sitting behind the face. I've actually always wanted to build a set of wheels like this, but I never had the right wheel to do, so I think these are ideal. The only thing is that I'm not 100% a fan of is it's got this little indent here, which you're actually meant to put like a little rubber seal in it when you mount them, but obviously I'm face mounting them, so I'm not going to be doing that. My Revolutions was actually meant to have that as well, and I sandwiched them and I still never done it, so I don't think it makes a massive difference as long as you seal them up properly. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to quickly split the other 2 wheels down. I was going to wait for Courtney, but I've just spoke to Julian and he said he will polish the lips up for me if I go and drop them around there tonight. So I want to get them done. Right, so Julian's got my dishes, he's going to clean them up. I am now going to put some paint stripper over the centres. Once I've done that, I'm going to drop them off to my mate Jack. He's got like a little at-home sandblaster. He's going to do them for me, so I haven't got to sit there rubbing them all down. Then I'm going to etch them up and I'm going to paint them. So I got them back from my mate Jack. He had a good go at blasting them, but it wasn't working very well because like they're diamond cut and it's had powder coated lacquer over it, so he said it was a bit awkward to do. However, he actually run over them with like a little nylon disc, which was strong enough to lift the lacquer but not actually damage the wheel. So they're nearly ready to go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to run a little bit of 800 over them just to scratch them up, like just the last little bit. If you can see, there's a few little bits that are still shining. Going to do that, and then I'm going to get on to priming them. Right, so they're all prepped up. Now I'm going to paint them. I'm not painting them in the garage because I don't want to get overspray everywhere. My car's here, my dad's is there. All the tools are over there, and it's just ag. I might as well just etch them outside. It's like 10 or 11 degrees outside, so that's not terrible anyway. But the way I'm doing it is heating my centres up in front of this little heater first. Then I go over to our etch primer. Thank you to Mr. Pink for lending me this, because it's boxing down, I couldn't get any, so I had to buy a new one. Leaving this in boiling water. Right, that's them all primed up. This is what I used. I think I said it earlier. The U-Pole 1K etch primer. There will be a clip of me doing one of them. Now they're just in front of the heaters. They are hot already. Sorry, they have dried already, but I thought I'd just leave them in front of the heaters. I'm probably going to go to my granddad's house tomorrow because he's got a little garage. It'll be easier for me to heat up so I can put the actual colour on, which is the colour of the car. So as soon as I've got the free time tomorrow, I'll come back to the video when I'm painting the beige on them. Right, so it's been a few days between the last clip and the centres are painted. Like I said, I've done them in my granddad's garage, but it's quite dark in there. So I had to set a light up and I had to make it warm. So I didn't end up recording it because it was too awkward. So got my dishes back from Julian. They look a lot better. You would have seen them in the other clips, how corroded they were. They come out really nice. So thanks Julian for doing them, saved me a bit of money there. And these are the centres. Like I said, originally I was going to powder coat them, but I ended up getting a can mixed up at a BSB, which is just like a paint shop near mine. The colour is Corboda Beige, which is actually the same colour as the RS over there. I paid £22 a can and I bought 2 cans. Realistically, I could have just done with 1, but I've got a spare now for something else. I might even do the engine bay if I order like another couple of cans and do the engine bay myself. I'm pretty happy with how they've come out. There's a little bit of like iffy on the paint, but they're only wheels, so that's not the worst. I could flatten polish them, but I'm not gonna. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get them built up. I'll only show you building 1, there's no point showing building 4. Courtney's at work at the minute, gonna wait for her to come home and then I'm gonna show her how to do it. Something else I forgot to mention, if you remember at the start of the video, I had them really rusty flange nuts that I put in vinegar. This is how they've come out. They're a bit mixed up with the washers, but they've actually come out alright, to be fair. I left them in there for like 3 or 4 days and then wiped them up, just cleaned them off with a bit of brake cleaner. So I'm definitely going to reuse these. First thing I done off camera was I wire wheeled these up, the same with the barrel over there, to make sure that the bond and seal will stick properly. I'm using Worth's bond and seal, which I used on my Escort wheels, and one tub has seemed to do nearly 8 wheels. Next thing, we're going to get all the nuts and bolts ready. Like I said earlier, we're still using the same flange nuts. These are new bolts and washers. Before we put them on, we're going to put Loctite on all of them quickly. So we're just going to put a small bit on every one. Try to put it a little bit further down the thread. A bit better. Yeah. Yeah. And that's all 16 of them done. Base mounting them, the easiest way for us to do them is like this. Drop all of the bolts in first. I'm dropping every hole. I'm going to push the bolts through. Courtney's going to put the nuts on one by one.
All the nuts are on loosely?
Courtney's got her 10mm. I've got the gun with the Allen key on it on the lowest torque setting, so obviously they're not over torqued, and then we're going to tighten them up very lightly in a star sequence to make sure it pulls straight. Put that on there. Yeah. All lightly done up. Going to get a quarter drive torque wrench out, and I've got this set to 15 Nm, which is what is recommended for M6 split rims. I've done the same on my Revolutions and they seem sweet, so I'm going to do it again. Yep.
So for you blow it.
So I'm all torqued up, so now we're just going to go around with the torque wrench in a clockwise motion just to make sure they're all finished.
Now they're all torqued up, we're going to seal them.
Courtney's gonna have a go at sealing her first wheel. Hard. Right. Put it on a little bit thicker than that.
I
So
can't
you've got to
squeeze
press
it any
it
harder.
really harder. Right, go on. I'll aim it for you. Squeeze as hard as you can. That's better. So put it back slower, yeah?
It's too hard. You're gonna have to do it.
Go on.
Ready?
Yep, go. You want me to do the rest?
Yeah, I can't. It hurts.
Okay. A bit slower. A bit too fast.
I don't know how fast you want me
Just
to go.
slow. I need it like big bits on it. It's better to have too much.
Now I'm just gonna spread the sealant.
Go on.
Go on. You.
Yeah, you've got to pull your finger down.
Oh.
Go on.
Like that.
Yeah. So that's all 4 of them sealed. I think they look nice. So it looks nice with a face mount. Fingers crossed they fit nice. Right, now we're just going to leave the sealant for a day till we put the tyres on. Cool, going.
Bye guys.
But yeah, we're going to leave it for a day and then we're going to get the tyres put on and we'll see what they look like on the Fiesta. So we'll catch up then. So right, yeah, I couldn't get to a tyre shop because everywhere's closed and I want to get this video out. And I've just taken the engine out of it, which is going to be another episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you the wheels on the car in the air. It's going to be hard to see how light would be anyway because obviously I haven't got coilovers on it. Hopefully next episode or next couple of episodes the coilovers are here and then we can properly see the stance of it and I'll try and set it up as nicely as I can. So that's one on the front. Colour match is pretty good. This wing is actually faded a little bit or it's been painted, one or the other. But fitment should be sweet, so the wheels slightly turned to the left, but fitment should be nice on this. The only problem we do have is that is basically on the shock and basically on track rod end. What I'm going to do is put a little 5mm spacer on it. We're getting gas coilovers made as well, and I think they're slightly thicker than a normal shock, but a 5mm spacer should sort it out hopefully. Yeah, pretty happy with how they look on the front. Let's try one on the back. And that's them on the rear. Again, fitment should be nice. I have got to roll the lip, which I am going to do. There's a lot of shit I've done, as you can see. I haven't cleaned it properly yet, but I am going to roll this lip, try and get a little bit more clearance. I think I might be going with single true coilover on the rear. So again, I think these are going to be a bit thicker. I think these are around 55mm, and Gaz told me they're going to be 83mm. But we'll sort something out. Right, so yeah, thanks for watching. The wheels come out quite nice, I think, for what they cost. So I paid $4.50 for the wheels, and they had tyres on them, 195/50 Nankangs that are usable. I paid 40 quid for the beige paint, which I definitely could have got away with one can, so that could have been a score. I paid a tenner for all the other stuff, which was basically just the primer and some rubbing down sanding paper. I already had bolts and I already had bond and seal. So for under 500 quid, I think they're ideal, especially being SCHMIDTs and especially being 13s. I had 14s on my 4-door before, and I know 13-inch SCHMIDTs in full fitment are really hard to come by. Julian for doing the dishes. Thanks to Mr. Pink for getting me that primer because nothing was open on Boxing Day, and he quickly dropped me some over. As always, if you enjoyed watching, please leave a like. If you'd like to support the channel or just want some cool merchandise, check the website out, which is retrostarts.co.uk. I'll leave the link to that, our page, our Instagram and our community page all in the description of this video below. Thanks for watching.